Hello, and welcome back to the Money Mindset channel. The person who will join you in exploring the paths to financial freedom, not with get-rich-quick schemes, but by changing the very root of your thinking. Today, I want to tell you a story about myself more than 10 years ago. The day I held my university degree with honors, I thought I had a golden ticket to a bright future. I, like millions of others, was programmed for a set path. Study hard, find a stable, high-paying job, work diligently, and then life would be set. And I did exactly that. I got a good job in a big company. My salary came in regularly. I bought a car on an installment plan, used credit cards to enjoy life, and was proud of being stable. But then I realized a harsh truth. Even as my salary increased, I always felt like I was running on a giant hamster wheel. Money would come into one pocket and quickly run out the other to cover expenses. I worked hard for more than 8 hours a day, not to build my own dream, but to pay bills and build my boss's dream. I was stuck in a trap that I later learned was called the rat race. It was during those confusing days that a friend gave me a small purple book. The cover had a picture of a house and two men. Its name was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. My dear friends, this is not just a book. For me, back then, it was an earthquake that shook everything I believed to be true about money, career, and life. What I had learned in school, the advice from my family, all seemed outdated compared to the mindset in this book. And in today's video, I want to share with you the 5 most valuable hard-earned lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Lessons that no school ever taught us. Join me for the next 20 minutes as we dissect and reflect on the mindsets that could completely change your financial future. Let's begin. 5 valuable lessons. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. The first and most fundamental lesson of all wealth-building mindsets is, the rich don't work for money. Sounds absurd, doesn't it? Don't we all go to work for money? This is the core difference. The poor and the middle class spend their lives working for money. The fear of not having enough to pay the bills drives them to wake up every morning. And when they get their paycheck, greed and desire lead them to buy things they don't really need. Their lives are controlled by 2 emotions, fear and greed. That is the rat race. The rich are different. They have those same emotions, but they don't let them take control. Instead, they see opportunities that others miss. They don't ask, how can I earn more money? They ask, how can my money make more money? To do this, you must clearly understand 2 concepts that school never properly taught: assets and liabilities. Asset, something that puts money in your pocket. Liability, something that takes money out of your pocket. This definition is so simple a child could understand it, yet it is the key to wealth. The poor buy liabilities thinking they are assets. The most classic example is the house you live in. We are taught to settle down, that buying a home is the biggest investment of our lives. But, according to Robert Kiyosaki, if that house doesn't generate income, and you have to pay monthly mortgage interest, maintenance costs, taxes, then it is taking money out of your pocket. It is a liability. The rich, on the other hand, focus all their time and money on acquiring assets. What could these be? A rental property, generating monthly cash flow. Stocks of a good company, paying dividends and appreciating in value. Intellectual property like a book or an online course, selling and creating passive income. A business that runs on its own without your presence. The goal of the rich is to build a money printing machine from their asset column, one so large that the cash flow from it can cover all their living expenses. At that point, they no longer need to work. Their money is working for them 24/7, even while they sleep. Ask yourself right now, every month, are you using your money to buy more assets or more liabilities? The answer will tell you where your financial future is headed. Lesson 2. The importance of financial literacy. School teaches us many professional skills to become employees, engineers, doctors, lawyers, accountants, but it fails to teach us the most important skill, money management. You can be an excellent surgeon earning $5,000 a month, but if you have nothing left at the end of the month, or even worse, are in credit card debt, you are not wealthy. The problem isn't how much money you make, but how much money you keep and how you make it grow. Financial literacy isn't about complicated theories. It revolves around four main areas. 1. Accounting, the ability to read and understand numbers, to read financial statements. This is the skill to distinguish between an asset and a liability. 2. Investing, the science of money making money. 3. Understanding markets, the law of supply and demand, knowing when to buy and when to sell. 4. The law, understanding tax laws and corporate structures to protect your assets legally. The rich always know how to take advantage of tax incentives that salaried employees never get. Imagine you are building a skyscraper. Your professional knowledge is the floors above ground, but your financial knowledge is the foundation. Without a solid foundation, the taller the building, the more likely it is to collapse. Many celebrities, athletes, and stars have earned millions of dollars only to go bankrupt simply because they lacked this solid foundation. So, where do you learn financial literacy? From books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, from courses, from mentors, and most importantly, from starting to practice, even with a small amount of money. Don't wait for someone to teach you. Become a student of money yourself. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. This phrase might sound a bit selfish, but Robert Kiyosaki's meaning isn't "don't care about others." Your own business here refers to your asset column. Most of us confuse our profession with our business. Your profession is what you do for 8 hours a day to get a paycheck. For example, you are a banker. Your business is what you do with that paycheck to build your asset column. The poor dad said, "Do your job well." The rich dad said, "Do your job well, but at the same time, mind your own business." You can be an excellent office employee, but if you only focus on being an employee your whole life, you will never escape the rat race. Keep your current job to pay the bills, but use your free time and a portion of your income to start your EQ business. That is, to start buying and accumulating assets. Think about Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. He was once asked what business he was in. Everyone thought he would say hamburgers. But he said, "No, my business is in real estate." He understood that the prime pieces of land where McDonald's stores were located were the real assets. Selling hamburgers was just the way to pay for those assets. You don't have to quit your job immediately. Start small. Do you love writing? Start a blog or write an ebook. Do you understand the stock market? Set aside a small amount of money to start investing. Do you have some savings? Research buying a small property to rent out. Don't spend your entire life building someone else's business. Start building your own empire. The first brick is the first asset you own. Lesson 4. Work to learn, don't work for money. This is a controversial lesson, especially for young graduates who need money, but it is an incredibly wise long-term mindset. The poor dad always advised his son to find a stable job with good benefits. The rich dad, however, advised that when you are young, you should choose a job based on what you will learn, not on the salary. Specifically, he emphasized the 3 most important skills you need to learn to become rich. 1. Sales skills, the ability to communicate, persuade, and sell your product or idea. No matter who you are selling something. 2. Marketing skills, how to let people know about you and your product. 3. Leadership skills, the ability to work with and inspire others. Robert Kiyosaki once told a story about a talented female journalist who asked him for advice on becoming a best-selling author. He said, "Go take a course on sales." The woman was offended and said she had a master's degree in literature. Why should she stoop to learning sales? And that is why there are so many talented people who are poor. They focus only on creating a perfect product. like a delicious hamburger, but don't know how to sell and distribute it. When you're young, don't be afraid to take a job with a slightly lower salary if it gives you the opportunity to learn about sales, marketing, financial management, or how a business operates. These skills will become priceless assets that will help you build your own business later. View your early working years as a period where you pay to learn, not get paid to work. Lesson 5. Overcoming the biggest obstacles. After gaining all the knowledge, why do so many people still fail to become rich? Because the biggest enemy is not in the market or the economy. The biggest enemy lies within ourselves. There are 5 main enemies. 1. Fear, especially the fear of losing money. Nobody likes to lose money, but the rich are not afraid of losing. They know how to manage risk. They understand that failure is part of the success process. Like a child learning to ride a bike, you have to fall a few times before you can ride. Start small, invest in what you understand, and treat small losses as tuition fees. 2. Cynicism. This is the negative voice inside you and from those around you. That can't be done. It's too risky. If it were that easy, everyone would be rich. This cynicism paralyzes action. To defeat it, fill your mind with knowledge and success stories. 3. Laziness. Many people are lazy not because they don't want to do anything, but because they are too busy. They are busy going to work, busy watching TV, busy with things that don't create value. The cure for laziness is a little bit of greed, a strong desire for a better life. Ask yourself, what would my life be like if I didn't have to work anymore? The answer will be your motivation to act. 4. Bad habits, especially spending habits. The rich dad had a very important habit. Pay yourself first. As soon as he got his income, he would set aside a portion to invest in his asset column, and only then use the rest to pay bills. The poor do the opposite. They pay all their bills first, and then see what's left to save, and often there's nothing left. 5. Arrogance. This is the enemy of learning. Arrogance is a combination of ego and ignorance. When you think you know everything, you stop learning. And in the field of finance, what you don't know is what will cost you the most money. Always be humble and eager to learn. So, we have gone through 5 incredibly valuable lessons from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. 1. Let money work for you. 2. Equip yourself with financial literacy. 3. Focus on building your own asset column. 4. Work to learn critical skills. 5. And finally, conquer the obstacles within yourself. My dear friends, the road to financial freedom is not a sprint. It's a marathon that requires patience, knowledge, and most importantly, the right mindset. School gives us a degree to get a job, but life requires us to have a financial mindset to truly live. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not a guide that tells you which stock to buy or where to invest in real estate. It gives you something far more important, a new lens through which to view money and how it works in this world. Now, I have a question for you. Which of these 5 lessons impacted you the most? How have you applied it, or how will you apply it to your life? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Money Mindset would love to hear your story. If you found this video helpful and valuable, don't forget to give Money Mindset a like to help spread this knowledge. Share the video with your friends and family, with anyone you think needs to hear this. And most importantly, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss any videos on our journey to change our financial mindset together. Thank you for listening. I'm your host's name from the Money Mindset channel. I wish you steadfastness on your chosen path. Goodbye, and see you in the next story.